Good evening, Storia News viewers. We're back with our weekly news bulletin. As always, we continue to bring you the major developments and key stories shaping the city this week. A highly unusual traffic intervention at the intersection of San Andreas Avenue and Palomino Avenue has heightened tensions across the city this evening. A 47-minute pursuit involving an unregistered caravan led police units on a long chase stretching from Little Seoul all the way to Rancho. As seen in the footage, the incident began on the night of December 4th, during a routine traffic stop in Little Seoul. Shortly after a motorcycle failed to comply with officers' instructions and fled the scene, it was determined that the motorcycle had collided with an unregistered caravan, prompting units to respond to the area. Officers attending the crash initiated a standard verification procedure when the caravan's driver was unable to provide a license plate or the required documentation. However, the pursuit officially began when the driver suddenly entered the vehicle and fled the scene. The chase continued from 8:20 p.m. to 9:07 p.m, with coordinated involvement from multiple patrol units. Department sources confirmed that no injuries or additional collisions occurred during the pursuit, but stated that the risk assessment eventually shifted against public safety. As a result, units made a phased decision to withdraw due to the caravan's increasingly dangerous driving behaviour. The pursuit was brought to an end around 9:07 p.m. on McDonald Street in Rancho. No information regarding the driver's identity or condition following the incident has yet been released to the public. The police department reports that the evaluation process is ongoing. Now, we turn to another development shaking the public agenda, this time in the Hoyk Avenue. A notable incident occurred on Hoyk Avenue. According to observations from our reporter, Valerie Sinclair, as well as information from official sources, it was reported that sheriff's deputies on patrol were confronted with an attempted attack involving bladed weapons. Facing an immediate threat, the deputies were forced to defend themselves and responded with gunfire. Initial information indicates that 2 individuals involved in the attack were pronounced dead at the scene. The department also announced that a standard internal affairs investigation into the use of force has been initiated. Shortly after this incident, another development on the same street resurfaced. Responding to a call in front of the Hare on Hoyk establishment, units arrived at the scene to find 3 individuals lying motionless on the ground. Medical checks confirmed that all 3 had passed away. Although their identities have been confirmed, they are not being released to the public due to the confidentiality of the investigation. Authorities emphasise that neither incident poses an ongoing threat to the public and that the investigations remain active. Our next developments take us a bit farther out, to Forum Drive, where the Los Santos County Sheriff's Department executed 2 search warrants earlier this evening. During the operation, deputies uncovered a stash house linked to a gang-affiliated homicide suspect. Inside the residence, investigators recovered a significant cache of weapons: 1 compact rifle, 1 mini SMG, 2 combat pistols, and 2 MP9s, along with 158 rounds of 7.62 ammunition and 423 rounds of 9mm. They also seized 76 grams of cocaine, 8 grams of crystal methamphetamine, 5 grams of marijuana, as well as 8 GPS trackers, 2 device scanners, 2 card skimmers, and 5 lockpicks. Authorities report that the suspect is a high-profile member of a local Davis gang, and the investigation is now expanding under the Operation Safe Streets Bureau. More updates as they develop, here on Storia News. Following the operation on Forum Drive, we now turn to tonight's closing story. This time, our focus shifts to Spanish Avenue. At around 10:40 p.m. on West Vinewood Spanish Avenue, LSPD units responded to a call reporting a man lying motionless on the ground. Upon arrival, officers discovered a male victim who, according to initial findings, had not been shot, but had died after being beaten with a baseball bat. A motorcycle with no license plate was found right beside the victim. While investigators continued processing the scene, one of the suspects seen leaving the area earlier drew officers' attention again and was stopped. Despite attempting to flee, the suspect was detained and a bat was recovered from his possession. DNA analysis conducted by the Forensic Science Division confirmed that samples on the bat matched the victim. Based on these findings, the suspect was arrested on charges of second-degree murder. A second suspect, whose identity has been confirmed, remains at large and is believed to have fled the scene on a bicycle. The search for him continues. We've come to the end of this week's news bulletin. We've brought together the city's agenda, on-scene updates, and all the major developments for you. We'll be back next week, right here on Storia News. Thanks for watching. Good night and take care.